Okay, guys, welcome back again to my channel. I remain your boy, the Legend FS Academy, and I want to appreciate each and every one of you who subscribed, those who watch my video, those who comment, and those who did not comment. I say thank you all, and I really want to apologize for the last video I did. I know that the recording is not good, and I've been trying my best to get a good recording. The one I got also was not also sound. It's giving me an issue. I don't know. It's not compatible with my recording software. Those are the challenges I've been facing, and those are the issue that is making me sometimes I just feel like to record a tutorial like this. I will just feel down because even the last one I did, the last recording I did was about 25 minutes long, and I found out that the sound is not even there. It's the tutorial did not even have any sound, so I have to do another one again. This is the third one I'm doing. So these are the challenges we are facing in order to put out content, a good content out there. So so I want to apologize to you guys. Please bear with me until I get a good mic. Until I get a good mic. So please, that with all being said, I will let me just quickly walk you through the analysis I have this week. I have gold, I have GBPJPY, and I have S&P 500. So quickly, we will start off from gold. You see that I've done my analysis on gold. This is my demand zone. This is my demand zone. This is also another zone that I'll be keeping my eyes on. So as you all know how I always do it here, I always delete all my charts. I always delete all my charts. And first and foremost, we head over to our weekly. We head over to weekly to see. Let me quickly delete everything. Remove 10. Let me delete everything. You can see that overall from the monthly standpoint, gold has been in a bullish phase. So there is no need for you to look for sell opportunity. So the only thing you can look for is buy opportunity on gold. Since we've been able to establish that gold is a bullish phase, then we can now head over to our weekly to see if there's any chart pattern forming. Overall, there's none. There's no chart pattern. Or we could say that gold has been in a bullish phase, but we can see what some people will call fair value gap here. Fair value gap here, which we call the support and resistance. Ehen. Just want to just pinpoint it, but I normally do my analysis on daily. I do my all my analysis on daily and I execute on 4 hours. But I just want to pinpoint this particular zone here. Then I can now head over to my daily to see what my chart look like. If you check the previous this thing I did, the previous one, the one I deleted, let me quickly go back there. You can see that. Let me go back to daily. You can see that there is this particular demand zone here. Let me go back to 4 hour to show you this particular demand zone that I've been keeping my eyes on here. I get this move. I caught this one, and this was the second one. I was thinking that same thing will happen here, but it didn't happen. For some reason, the market just bleed down. The market just bleed down and came to test this particular zone here. This particular zone has been there for a while. I put this particular zone here. I know for a fact that sometime, gold will come back to test this particular zone because there's what we call proper testing and improper testing. It will not be right for a price to break out of a particular resistance zone without testing it. Gold broke out of this particular resistance zone here without a proper testing. He left so many space here without filling the space. And markets don't like to move. Market like to move in swing. When market make this leg to the up, he has to come back to fill this space, make another one, come back, fill this space, make another one, come back, fill this space, make another one. This is how market move. But in a case whereby you see a market move like this, when market move like this, best believe that someday market will surely come back to come and fill this space somewhere here. um Market will definitely come back and fill this space someday, because and this is a form of trap also. Market will surely come back like this, then fill this space, then rally up. So this is how market move. Market, that is what some people call it inefficiency. Market don't like it. Market like filling, as it's going is filling spaces, as it's going is filling spaces. So you understand this concept will help you in trading, so that when you see a rally, you see a significant rally from a particular demand zone or a support zone, always keep that particular zone intact. Don't just be carried away, because someday somehow market will surely come back to come and test that zone, be it with a wick or a full candle. Anyhow, be it anyhow, but just know that market will surely come back to test it. So on seeing that, I know for a fact that the market will surely come back to test this particular zone someday, somehow. So I kept this boss here. I kept this particular zone here. Let me go back to daily. I kept it here on daily. So when gold started doing all these things, okay, this first one I didn't enter here. I enter on this particular one. Okay, I enter here, I missed the first one. So I move it to up, and the second time it came down, I was also thinking that it will also do the same thing, but it didn't. I entered, although I entered, but when I saw that I was wrong, I quickly exited. So now market has come back to test this particular zone, and if you've been watching my video, you will understand what I always call a base. So a base is when market give you this leg, give you this particular leg like this. Now coming back, for fact and for sure, a lot of traders will be anticipating for market to come and clear this particular low and continue like this. This is what downtrend look like. So what I call a base is when market give you this leg, when market give you this leg, um give you this leg and now come back, was not able to now take off this particular low here, market now stop somewhere here, now go back. This is what I call a base. Just like when you want to build a house, you have to do your DPC level and all those stuff. This is what I call a base. Failing to take away this particular low is another sign for you that the market is not ready to continue going down. So this is what I normally use in trading. So when I saw this particular stuff, I quickly draw my boss. I say for me to confirm that this particular resistance zone will now hold as a support, I need to see a base form here. And you know that I've always been saying it, that you have to understand different chart pattern in a trickish way. This is another chart pattern that is forming in a trickish way. Ideally, the market has to come down to this particular low to come and test it before it shoot up. But the strength to continue selling, a lot of buyers are willing to buy than the seller. They didn't even want this market didn't have that strength to push down to this particular low again. That is why it couldn't even get there. Just came with a wick and shy off and give you this particular pattern. So now what will I be waiting for on this particular move now? I'll be waiting for this particular goal to break above this counter trend. We have this counter trend line. So I'll be waiting for this guy to break this particular counter trend line, close above this particular high. And this is where I can now consider buying gold. And if I should buy here, my stop loss will be somewhere here, because you know that gold is so volatile. Anything that make gold come back here again, that means I don't think gold wants to start buying. If gold can break this counter trend line, close above this particular low here, confirming that this pattern is valid. You know the principle of chart pattern is that before a chart pattern can be confirmed that it is chart pattern, the neckline has to be broken to the upside or to the downside before it can be confirmed that this is chart pattern. Without that, it is not a valid chart pattern yet. So on seeing this now, this is not valid yet until it can be able to break this counter trend line, close above this particular high, and this is where I'll be looking to buy. And I put this pullback here, but I'm not thinking that I'll wait for pullback. Because why? Because gold has this kind of formation that it has been forming lately. Whenever gold give you this kind of pattern, it doesn't always come back for pullback. I can give you some example here. Check this particular zone here, check this particular one, watch it, but that pattern must be on a particular zone, or is either support zone, resistance zone, or whatever zone. You can see that the moment gold gave this chart pattern, it rallied without coming back to retest. The moment they gave this chart pattern again, it closed above this particular thing, it rallied without a retest. And if you watch gold, the same thing happened here. The moment they give this chart pattern, it rallied without retest. So if you check gold, the moment it gave this pattern again, it confirmed this pattern by closing, the rally without the retest. The pattern also was there, but it was on 1 hour. You will see it clearly. It gave this pattern again, a rally, although it rally, but it didn't come back. It didn't come back here. He didn't touch it. The pattern I know a lot of traders will want to be looking out for is this fancy pattern which you learnt on textbook, for market to just come like this, give you this kind of pattern, then close above it, maybe close above it, now come back for a retest. If the retest of this is what everyone learnt on textbook, on baby pips, and whichever website you study how to trade forex. This is the kind of fancy one we learnt there. But in the real sense, most time market will not present you with this kind of fancy juicy setup. So you have to be versatile to follow along. So if you watch gold, if you backtest gold, I've been watching this guy, I've been backtesting this guy for a while now. I've noticed that once he give you that pattern, most time it doesn't really come back to retest. It will just shoot up there. So that is why I said I'll be entering this market the moment this chart pattern, the moment it confirm this chart pattern, the moment it confirm this chart pattern, break above, I will not be waiting for retest. Because if gold can break above here, break and close above this counter trend line, the possibility of gold coming back here is rare. Is not the possibility is like 30%. Although I still know that a lot of things can happen, but with the current sentiment and fundamental biases now that is on ground, I don't really think that gold can come back again, because gold technically gold is still in a bullish phase. All this bearish move was just to fulfill a technical principle, because because market cannot just rally without filling spaces. So all this rally down was just to fulfill technical principles. So that this is what I have for you guys on gold. Let me quickly head over to GBPJPY, another pair that I'm keeping my eyes on. You can see GBPJPY. I've already done my analysis. But let me quickly check another this thing to show you guys a new one, to do another technical analysis on GBPJPY. JPY. I don't want to delete my chart on that particular zone. I want to do a quick one, GBPJPY. Let me choose another one. Okay, let me choose this one. So now I will still come back and show you what I have here. So let me quickly go over to new chart here, GBPJPY. You know how we do it. We first head over to monthly. You can see that overall GBPJPY has been in a bullish phase. I've been in a bullish phase. We're waiting for this candle to close, and what I'll be waiting for GBPJPY is for this candle to close bullish. You can see that this market is caught up in between these two spaces here. So I'll be expecting GBPJPY to, if GBPJPY can close a strong bullish above this candle, that will be a nice run up for us, and another first target will be somewhere here, and and overall target will be somewhere here. But until then, we'll still keep on looking for what GBPJPY will do. So monthly, we've come to monthly to just map out our key zones. Then we can now head over to, there's not enough of information to work with on monthly, but what we are just anticipating for is, if this candle can close strong bullish, then we can now head over to our weekly. We can see that this GBPJPY, let me delete some lines so that it will not confuse you. And let me quickly adjust this particular zone here, and let me adjust this one. Let me quickly adjust this one. Remember, I told you guys that this is not a line. I'm just doing it as a line because I already know what I'm doing. Let me quickly adjust this. Let me clone it to make it look beautiful. You can see all this down something. It's just a trap. And that is why I always say, don't buy from a support zone. A support zone, all this zone here, they are just a stop loss run, which some traders call, some SMC traders, they call it liquidity sweep or whatever. But we call it stop loss run. But in the real sense, all these names are just the same thing. Stop loss run, liquidity run, all of them are the same thing. That implies that the big guys, the big boys in the system, they just want to take your stop losses. So if you are buying on a support zone or a resistance zone, it's wrong. You will always be caught up by these big guys, because they know that we, the retail trader, want to buy once the market get to this particular zone, with what we learned that we use bullish engulfing. So once the market get to the support, you'll be looking for bullish engulfing. Once you see that bullish engulfing, you tend to buy. But they know that we want to, they know the power of that bullish engulfing. So what they will do is that they will violate that principle of that bullish engulfing, drive the price down. And once the price has taken a lot of stop losses, that is when the market will now rally. So now on GBPJPY, what I have here is, now on weekly, we have this chart pattern that has not yet confirmed. And you know that the principle of chart pattern stays that if a chart pattern form, before that chart pattern can be valid, the neck has to be broken to the upside and retest. If this can happen, this will be a perfect one on GJ. So until then, we'll keep on hoping. You know that this particular guy, before it got here, it got here, it bleed down, it couldn't break. It got here, it bleed down. Now it's here again. Now the buyers, the moment they push it up, and the seller said no, 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 they push it down again. So now seeing this, now you have to be patient. You have to wait until this particular pattern is confirmed. When this particular pattern is confirmed, if this particular pattern is working on 4 hour on daily, best believe on 4 hours you'll be having something like this. You'll be having something like this on 4 hours. On 4 hours you'll be having something like this. So when this particular candle now close bullish, this weekly candle close bullish, confirming that the market is about to change, then what you have on the 4 hours is something like this. Is something like this. So as this one is working, this 4 hours also is giving you this kind of formation. It's giving you this kind of formation. So that is why you have to wait for weekly, daily, and 4 hours to sync. Because in my trading pattern, I always wait for 3 time frame to sync. If you're a day trader, you have to wait for maybe 4 hours, 1 hour, 15 minutes to sync. If you're a scalper, you have to wait for maybe 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute to sync, depending on the time frame you are using. But all time frame works and all strategy work on any time frame you are using it. So now I will be waiting for this particular zone here to close. Once it close, I can now head over to my daily. Daily is where I do most of my analysis. I can now come out and pull out my counter trend line and draw my counter trend line like this. Then I also want to call your attention to this particular video, to this particular this thing. I did it. I said I did it how to do a complex pullback in my last video. I showed you guys how to trade a complex pullback and the main pullback. So now this is the main pullback you most of us have learned. Most of us have learned. So now we are waiting for this pullback to just end somewhere here, to just end somewhere here. But in the real sense, most times the pullback will not just end here. The pullback will not end here. But if 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 the pullback refuse to end here, another place that I'll be keeping my eyes on is on this particular zone here. If you check my analysis here, you will see that it's the same thing with what I have. You can see it's the same thing with what I have here. I have this particular demand zone here, and I have this particular resistance that is broken, that is supposed to turn to support. But I know for a fact that most time the market will not just stop here. The market will still come down, rally down, and a lot of traders will start buying here. Maybe you can just see the market can just give you this kind of formation on engulfing candle. You can see that this is the engulfing candle I'm talking about. Look at the engulfing candle here. Market will just give you this engulfing candle, making you to think that the market wants to start buying. A lot of people like buying with engulfing candle. Before you know, the market will just dip down and start selling. Why? Because there is still another zone that the market has not tested, that the market wants to go and test. So you understanding this pattern now will not guide you. You not keeping your eyes on a particular zone, making a different zone in the market, keeping your eyes on different zone. That is you being smart. You are just diversifying. Okay, if A did not work, probably B will work. You keeping A, B, C options there. So what I did in my own is that I said, okay, if this GJ can come down here, I will also show you something later. If it can come down here and spread this trend line and bounce off, that would be nice. That would be nice. But if GJ refuse to come down to respect the trend line, it can also come and break this trend line. Even though GJ break this trend line, we are still in the uptrend. You know why? Let me go to daily and show you why we are still in the uptrend. Why I say that is that because here was where this market got the momentum to break this high. So here now technically is the zone that the market must not come below. Anything GJ is doing is none of my business. But the moment I see GJ come down below here, break below here, there's a problem. But if GJ refuse to break this counter trend line, we are still in uptrend. Come here, we are still in uptrend. Then I can now look for chart pattern inside here. Inside chart pattern, I will look like this inside here, and I can now buy to the upside. Without that happening, I will not be buying on GJ. So you've seen how we've done our analysis from monthly, weekly, daily. Then 4 hour is the way we execute our chart, and is where we do mostly of our analysis. Okay, now you can see that on 4 hours is where we do most of our analysis and everything. So now on this trend line now, you know what I want to say is that this trend line also can serve as a form of my stop loss run, because they know that the third touch of trend line always does the trigger. So once the market get to this particular trend line here, A lot of people want to buy with engulfing candle, but they forget that the market is still bearish. I will also do a detailed video on that. On that, maybe probably this week or next week. Now, this is a trend line. This is a trend line. A lot of people, when the market gets here, let's say the market move up from here, the market come back to the trend line, move up again. The market is now coming back again. The market will be doing something like this. The market will now be doing something like this. Just because the market is at trend line, just because the market is at this trend line, giving you this bullish engulfing, a lot of people will start buying because it's second touch or third touch. A lot of people will start buying. The market can just come like this, give you this kind of formation as if it wants to go up, somewhere here, and it will not give you bullish engulfing. You will not be saying, oh, we are on the trend line, the second touch or the third touch. Maybe it's on the third touch because this is the first touch, second touch, third touch. You cannot say, okay, I want to start buying. The market will just give you something like this and bleed down. Do you know why? Do you know why? Because on this trend line also, you have to wait for what we call a change of trend. A change of trend, meaning that market has to take out this particular low here that led to this particular break of this structure to downside. So market has to take it off by closing above it, like this. This is where you start buying, because like you've heard me say I don't buy or sell at the resistance or support zone, because those areas are where a lot of liquidity sweep, a lot of stop losses are. So they can do all their shenanigans here. But once they have been able to close above here, they cannot come below here again. I've done a video about how these guys work. You can go and watch that video to understand what I'm explaining. So it will help you a lot understanding how all these market big guys, or how they work, market manipulation, understanding how they work, the big guys, the bank, the hedge fund. You can go and watch that video to understand what I'm saying. So now let's go back to this particular GBPJPY. I'm just showing you the scenario that could just happen here. You know, as a trader, you have to be versatile. So this can also happen. The market can just come down here, just give you a form of, we are still on this particular leg now. We can say we are temporarily bearish, but overall is bullish. So on this particular zone now, if this market can get here, and as it's coming down, get here, maybe probably break above, break below, then give me a form of confirmation here, or get here. Any of this zone is my area of interest, or get here, then give me this particular change of trend. This particular change of trend. This is where I can now say, okay, I want to buy. If you check my this thing, you can also see that it's the same thing. I've done my analysis and I'm waiting for it. Okay, let me quickly see everything here, and so that this video will not be too long. So let me delete this particular zone here, and let me show you something I have for you on 1 hour. You can see that this is a trap. This particular trend line is a trap, because a lot of lower time frame traders, they will want to buy from here. The third trend line, they want to buy, put their stop loss below here. But if you zoom into the higher time frame, you will be able to know that there is another zone here that the market may probably want to come and respect. This particular zone here, the market wants to come and respect and feel. If you check it here, the moment the market broke, there's a space here. There's a space. I've said it earlier that the market don't like space. The market don't like space. The market don't like feeling each and every space. If you check how the market is going, the market is just moving, feeling space. Something like this. Moving, feeling space without giving any form of room for any filling all the whole spaces. This is how the market like to move. So anywhere you see space, which they call fair value gap or whatever, anywhere you see it, anywhere you see space, just put your zone there. Be careful of that particular zone, that the market may probably come back to this inside this particular candle here. Inside this particular candle, the market may come back to inside this particular candle to come and just fill this space. And this is where area of interest where you will be looking to buy from. Okay, so don't just start buying now, because on 1 hour, the market is giving us what we call a trap, just for you to buy, on this trend line, and before you know it will just dip down. So that's just a caution call for you on GJ. Be patient. Is either the market can give you a change of trend here, which is chart pattern, or this particular zone here. Any of them, we are good to go. But overall, we are still bearish. So lastly, S&P 500, I would just touch a few things about S&P 500, because this video is already too long and I don't like it. because people don't like watching lengthy videos. So on S&P 500, a lot has happened, and this is where you can be able to distinguish the real trader and the amateur trader. This is where how you can be able to this is a particular zone that can make you separate the real traders and the from the amateur trader. S&P 500 overall, we are in a bullish phase, which you know, and I've been calling this guy, which you know since. If you watch my previous video, you also see we are in a bullish phase. So now, when the candle broke below here, broke above here, I was not fully active. Then I was on the WTI. So my concern was on WTI, then not on S&P 500. Then after then, I was waiting for this particular S&P 500. Oga, come down now and come and test this particular zone where you break out from. Come down now. S&P 500 said no, that is not going to come down. I've been waiting for this particular guy to come back. He said no, that he will not come down. Okay, I said okay, fine. If you cannot come down to a reasonable place where we can negotiate price, then I will not be interested. I will not be interested. I'm trying to be a professional trader, and these are what professional traders do. These are what they do. So a lot of people will start buying from somewhere here. You can buy and make this profit and make this small profit, but if you keep on doing such mistake, overall your hand will be burnt more than what you expect. So I'll be waiting for this guy at least to make a pullback, to make a significant pullback. Is either back to this particular zone or back to this trend line. So any of them, but the pullback should not exceed this particular zone here. Why I said so? Because this particular zone, you can see that the market was here was the low that led to a break of the new structure. Eh? You can see that market always repeats anything that market does, it always repeats itself over and over again. This was the low that give the force to break this particular high. So if this market can, I know it will be difficult for S&P 500 to come back here, but I will still keep this particular zone here. I will still be waiting for S&P 500 until S&P 500 is able to give me a significant pullback before I can now think about to buy S&P 500. Without that, I'm not buying S&P 500. I will be still hopeful that S&P 500 will pull back, pull back to somewhere here or somewhere here or somewhere here, and I cannot buy. Without that, I will not be buying S&P 500 and I will not be selling S&P 500. I'll just keep my focus on GJ and gold. Okay, I will just keep my focus on GJ and gold. That is what I have for you guys. And we'll start waiting. With all being said, I still remain your boy, the Legend FS Academy. Please, if you like my video, please do give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell. And if you don't also like it, please also give me a dislike, but please tell me in the comment box below what to do to improve in my next video. As you all know, no one knows it all. We are all here to learn. You learn from me and learn from you until we attain the level which I call the CPT, consistent profitable trader. I'm not totally there yet, and I know a lot of traders are not totally there yet. We are also striving to get there, and please, I'm also aware of my recording. Please do manage with me until I get a good mic. To get a good mic now, the one I see is about $250, and it has not been easy. The small one I got is not giving me what I need. It has not been easy to cut out $250 to get mic, but I hope I will fix it. I'll fix it soon. So with all being said, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, and bye for now. And please always remember to keep it super simple. You can see my chart, no indicator, no fancy anything. Everything is just pure price action. Until then, bye and keep it super simple.